he enjoyed seeing him. Now, Theo, new person to the show, if you will, because you know you're being vocal. What did you think of the whole Brentervention?
It was very interesting. I thought both sides had very good points. But in the end, it just seemed like it was the wrong person for the wrong crowd. It was something that has been tried and done and had failed many times before. Literally got to the point of an intervention, right, Henry? So
Yeah.
Towards the end, as you can see in my comments, I started like very like, I agree with everything he's saying, and then towards the end, I was like, nah, this got way
Yes.
too far. I need a break from everything Power Rangers. And Francis is right, which is why I'm glad to see you today, Francis. You were absolutely right towards your end. Your last statement was 100% spot on.
Even my grandmother agreed with Francis towards the end. She's like, Francis is on point. I was like, Grandma.
Absolutely.
And I think Brent is not. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Theo.
Just to be clear, I am an ASJ apologist. I do love.
I see the Red Ranger pick in the background.
Yeah. My daughter, if it wasn't 11 o'clock at night, I'd bring her in here.
No,
she literally
no
calls that me, she thinks that's me.
And you gotta keep telling her you gotta tell her it is.
Yeah, that's how far we're at with my love of the Red Ranger, right? So Austin has always been my dad in a way, and that's one thing I wanted to really get clear is he really is that Gen X fucking dad, dude. And you can give any person's dad social media and it's gonna come across iffy. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like, who gave this dude access to social media? Why is he on here? He's from a different generation. You know what I mean?
Okay, so with you being an ASJ apologist, and we, admitting it is the first step, Theo. Admitting it is the first step. What did you think about the Hitler shirts idea?
So I agree with Brent on this, where he initially classified Hitler as a demon, which I agree with. And I would hope most people agree with. He was a fucking demon, right? Mm-hmm. Now the quotes thing, that becomes a different territory. That's more of like, that's something I would expect someone in the Joe Rogan crowd to do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean, Henry? Like the comedians. He thinks he's a comedian.
Okay.
And that's not the case. And that's where you really gotta accept that he thinks he's funny, and it just has to do with this Gen X mentality that I think he has.
Hey, how the hell you watching all my videos but you ain't subbed? Come on, man. Hit that sub button. Okay.
He's still living Margera days, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. What about him making fun of the gay people? And another thing is he said people who don't agree with the shirts are stupid and lack wisdom.
No, so I actually kind of, I don't want to say agree because that's not true. That's not true. I do think it's been stretched a little too far. Like I said, he classified Hitler as a demon. Mm-hmm. That was the first thing he said. And now everything from there is up for debate. It's semantics. It's philosophy, it's semantics, something he thinks he's an expert on, but maybe quite isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Definitely isn't.
he's definitely not.
You know what I'm saying? That's something like someone who is just getting into philosophy would really try to hammer home, like, maybe we shouldn't listen to everything everybody's telling us. And the most controversial point to take that is, what was Hitler's like true thoughts and opinions and blah 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 blah. But that's so fucking beside the point. That's long ago. We all agree that was shit time. We're past that. We have a whole new situation to deal with. We won't get into it. The past is the past. His ASJ is personally I think it all falls onto he is a previous generation. This is how they are. I actually do have a father, and he is almost exactly like ASJ, and I am thankful that he doesn't have this motivation to actually use social media in the way that ASJ does. Because Henry, do you remember who ASJ was before he actually started using social media?
No, I don't.
He was the first Power Ranger. He actually knew how to fight karate. That wasn't something we were totally with in the 90s. He had quit Power Rangers, joined the military, right?
He never joined the military.
As far as we knew,
he was an EMT who worked with the military.
That's still pretty awesome and better than anything I have done.
Okay.
In my life, personally.
All right.
I have never met him EMT who has been out in the military.
Matt, you up next?
Trying to help people, you know what I'm saying? So that was the image. Sorry, Henry. That was the image before social media, and then someone told this dude, "Hey, cons exist. You should go to these cons." And then from there, he kind of learned he should use social media. But he's not the generation that should be using social media.
Okay, so you're saying he shouldn't be on social media?
No.
Can I pick your brain, Theo? So,
yep.
You say, let's go back to the Hitler shirt thing, right?
Yeah,
go back to that. You said,
easiest thing to stick.
You said Austin did admit that Hitler was a demon on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
Would you wear a demon's shirt? Quote, shirt, anything?
Me personally, no. If I knew exactly where it came from, if I knew for a fact, if it said, so Brent actually brought up the exact quote. It was the first thing I looked up when he made this, and I was like, good quotes. What do you mean good quotes? There can't be, right? So I Googled it, and I looked it up, and all right, so there is some things that actually okay, no, I agree with that. But like what Brent said, Hitler particularly used these quotes to further a bad agenda. That was the issue. That was the fucking issue. And if he had really, honestly, the reason I don't respect this whole thing is because he didn't double down. There's more people other than Hitler too. Hitler's a very bad guy, but there is many other people that are also really bad people that probably have good quotes. Maybe it's a philosophical question, one that isn't meant for the internet. It's not meant for the internet, and no. I guess to answer your question, Francis, no.
Do you actually believe that the shirts that he brought out were the shirts that he really was talking about?
That's interesting. I want to say no, because I think he did have a Hitler shirt, and I almost wish he did release it. Just doubled fucking down on his shit, I think him backing out of that is what makes him look weak. If he just doubled down and was
I think him not apologizing makes him look weak.
Yeah, exactly.
To admit you're wrong is the hardest thing.
Yeah, because he's not choosing one way or the other, Francis. Yeah, it does make him look weak. Absolutely. And I'm going to stand with you on that, where it as is right now, it looks kind of shitty. I could put hypotheticals. I wish he kind of just, if he had doubled down and actually put out those t-shirts, we would have a different conversation.
He would have lost a lot of fans.
He would have. We'd have a different conversation. Yeah. As it is right now, he looks weak. I agree with both of you on that. I agree with both of you on that.
Anything else you want to add, Theo? We got to get you up here when we got more time to really pick your brain. You do seem a little unhinged, but not like Brent level unhinged. You up there, but Brent is
you drank half the Kool-Aid. You drank half the Kool-Aid.
No, I'm not unhinged. I just have unconditional love. You know what I'm
But you
saying?
have unconditional love for the character.
For the
You don't have
character.
to love
That
the
might
actor.
bleed a little bit. It might bleed a little bit into the actor, right? I met him when I was fucking like 3, and then I met him again when I was like 20. I literally told this dude to his face that he was the reason I am the way I am today. We had a full conversation about my father, my childhood. I love ASJ from my personal experience.
Okay.
Right? I know him in person. I've had these talks. He knows that whatever Jason did was the reason for what I am today. The morals I have today. Because I didn't really have a dad growing up. I had the Power Rangers. And I think that's true for a lot of people out there. I think that's true for a lot of fucking people out there.
Okay. Last
Stand by-
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think about his interaction with Jason, who is Jewish from Influence Films, and how he wouldn't say he one way or another if he was making the shirts?
Weak,
Okay.
right? He should have. If he did make a choice, and it came from like a real, not a hateful place, but like a real like philosophical place, like maybe I would have liked to think I would have done that type of thing. Not that I would have ever had the idea to do it, but like if he had really just stuck with his like, listen, it's a philosophy lesson, I would have really respected that. But if it's the way he is right now, nah, I agree with you and Francis. I really do agree with you and Francis, and that's really hurts. Yeah, right.
But don't tell him that because you'll get blocked.
All right,
Yeah.
Theo, I got to bring up Matt Fisher, first time calling in. Thank you, Theo, for coming in and giving a base take and admitting you have a problem. So we appreciate that. It's the first step.
Hey, you'll keep seeing me on Twitter. I love you, bro.
All right, man. Take it easy.